Coinbase stock has seen its fortunes turn upward significantly since it's become profitable, but it's following the pattern of crypto. Bitcoin, Ethereum, they're both shooting up higher. What happens next? Basically, when you compare the charts, Coinbase's stock versus Ethereum or Bitcoin, you overlap the percentage moves up and down. You see that it's any bet on Coinbase stock is a bet on Ethereum or Bitcoin or crypto in general. But what's going on with the cryptocurrencies? First and foremost, looking at a lot of the assets that are out there right now, equities, metals, crypto, they're all at all-time highs. But the Federal Reserve has been pushing interest rates higher and higher and higher. None of these assets are immune to the fact that the economy is starting to slow down. We have seen a peak in gold and copper. Those stocks have been moving down. The price of those metals have been moving down. Stocks relative to that have been moving down as well. Crypto, of course, especially Ethereum, just last week, shot up significantly from about 31.75 all the way up to about 38.39. I hold a lot of Ethereum. I love the fact that the price is moving higher. I'm betting that the price moves lower, and I'm taking action on that. And I see that Coinbase is probably going to continue to move lower once these cryptos start selling off. Well, I'm certainly aware that all those clickbait videos would not want me to be saying those things about crypto, but that's my take. And I'm putting options positions on to protect my assets because I believe that crypto is moving lower, and I also believe Coinbase stock will follow suit. Let's jump in. Here's a look at the stock chart. This is Coinbase stock itself. COIN is the symbol there. I'm also showing Ethereum and Bitcoin. And honestly, if I didn't have labels there, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between all three of them. They run hand in hand. Again, I have a lot of Ethereum. That's where I'm pushing all my money. I do my stock trading. I take those profits and I put it into Ethereum. I want as much Ethereum as I can get. I don't really care about the actual value. What I do then is I trade options against my Ethereum position, and I'm continually trying to raise the total number of Ethereum that I have. I don't necessarily care too much today about the actual value. So when I see a big spike up like this, the very first thing I can think of is, how do I protect these profits? We've all been through the winter. What if it happens again? The Federal Reserve is actively doing what it can to suppress price pressures. Housing, stocks, metals, crypto, they're all at all-time highs. The Federal Reserve is not happy about that. The U.S. economy itself is likely to contract somewhat because of the higher interest rates. Metals will start to fall lower. Crypto is going to do the same thing. So I'm protecting myself. So when I look at this chart and I say, well, I'm already taking positions, short positions, options positions against Ethereum, Coinbase to me follows suit. Here's a good look at, so I got this off of CoinCodex. I did this on the last video as well. There is a bit of a delay in the total market cap of these. The chart that you see here, there is a slight delay here, but you can see the market cap hasn't quite hit where it was previously. But that could get updated. We'll see where that falls. In the meantime, Ethereum itself moving 3754 was the latest. Here is what I'm really kind of looking at. The U.S. Treasury bond. All my analysis is driven by the economy. Economic indicators are the leading indicator for the stock market. Most people have no clue how to determine the economy, so they go to technical analysis, which doesn't really work at all. The Federal Reserve is actively doing what it can to suppress price pressures. All assets, housing, stocks, metals, crypto, will come lower because this chart right here, the U.S. 10-year Treasury bond yield, is higher and will remain higher for longer. Probably be about 5 months before the Federal Reserve can even really move. And by then, there may be some serious damage to the economy. We're seeing the consumer slow down. This will have an effect on crypto. this will have an effect on, of course, Ethereum. Moving forward, looking at some of the numbers on Ethereum, total equity of about 28 billion. There's market capitalization of 276, and then as you can see, the enterprise value is listed at 296.7. Their price to earnings ratio, this is quite high, 52.95. Now, of course, they have they tend to it tends to be sort of a meme stock in the sense that people rush into this. Price to earnings ratio for a modestly priced company is about 30. So this is nearly 2 times the price to earnings ratio. Price to sales, you can see there, cash flow and book. Here we're looking at quarterly revenue. Huge jump higher. Not quite as much as back in 2021 though. And that's really kind of something that to me was telling that there was a massive rush back in 2021. There was a solid rush recently, but I don't think we're going to see a move higher in revenue per se. That I think we pretty much stick close to these levels, 2.33 over the course of the next couple quarters, but then it starts to move downward because crypto starts to move downward. Projected revenue, looking at 5.9 billion for 2024, 2025, 6.5 billion. Analysts are not expecting a whole lot. Net margins, I thought this was telling that this was really, the past 2 quarters were really kind of a big push higher. Net margins are actually pretty solid at 50.5%. Those are some net margins on the scale of, say, some of the better performing stocks out there. But earnings per share at 440 was a solid return. And again, projected earnings per share, this is where I really kind of base what I think is going to happen. They're looking in 2024 for $7.13, $5.02 in 2025, $4.29 for 2026. Analysts basically sit there and say, this is a one-off again. Sure, back in 2021, earnings per share shot through the roof. But now, this doesn't match up to where Coinbase stock would be. That, to me, was a huge sign as well that analysts aren't buying into this. Everybody can say, yeah, but the analysts get it wrong all the time. Sure, okay. The Federal Reserve, again, is where I sort of guide everything towards with my own analysis. The Federal Reserve is actively trying to suppress price pressures. Housing, stocks, metals, cryptos will all go lower because of what the Federal Reserve is doing. Coinbase stock will follow suit of crypto. Everything goes down. Moving forward, that's basically where I kind of encapsulate everything with Coinbase stock. Again, I hold a lot of Ethereum. I vacuum everything out of the stock market and I put it right into Ethereum. That I want to grow that more so than any stock holdings. For me personally, I'm actually buying bonds because the Federal Reserve themselves will be lowering interest rates at some point, but not until after the U.S. presidential election. That's November. We're seeing signs that the consumer is tapped out, that expenditures are slowing down, that the higher interest rates are having the effect. All these assets will move lower. I'm taking steps to protect my Ethereum total profits by putting on short positions using options long dated. So if there is a solid move lower in Ethereum, my total equity is protected. But if there is a solid move lower in Ethereum, Coinbase stock goes right back downward. And while everybody can cheer as much as they want on the ETFs coming out, the reality is probably going to see that this is just another pop higher and it deflates and moves right back downward. Make sure to hit that like and follow button. We'll see you in the next video.